eyes up here on the community board. Here, can you center your bottoms all the way? Thank you for being patient. Okay, so we are going to do a picture sort, but I'm not going to tell you what we're sorting. And I'm not going to tell you the two categories. If you have an idea while we're doing the picture sort, I want you to give me a silent cheer, but don't say anything. No ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, so it's a silent sort. You're just using your brains and your eyes.
I can't see.
Actually, I'm gonna use it. Okay, while we're sorting, you're going to be thinking about the two categories. What are we sorting and why are we sorting them? If it's not doing it, what do I do?
Just keeping the gas away. Next to the air. Okay, hold on.
Well, there's no plus or yeses. If you have an idea, let me know. Vanessa, what do you think we're sorting?
I think the left is the left is I think it's like community jobs.
Okay. And so the left, what do you mean? This is community jobs, and what do you think this is? Do you have an idea?
I think that one is like people who does their job.
Yeah. Okay, so Vanessa's on the right track. It has to do with jobs and community. Brayden?
Goods and services.
Goods and services. Brayden, of what? Can I call on someone else? Or do you want me to? You're fine. Skanda?
Goods and services of the government.
Of the government. Skanda, tell us how you knew. And I had more pictures in here, so sorry for those of you that didn't quite get it. We had more examples, but I don't know what happened.
Because the fire truck and the cars
Yeah.
are from the government. Like the government people hire them.
So are these goods or services?
They're services. Wait, there's goods.
They're goods.
And those are services.
Right.
That's a museum or something. And then
Right.
that's a teacher.
Right. So the teacher
Is servicing.
is
the
servicing. Right.
students.
The car, the police car, and the library books are goods. Those are things that we can touch. Those are things that we can bring home with us. Well, you can't really bring a car home with you, but you can touch it, you can feel it, you can look at it. It's a good. Okay? Then the teacher is a service. The museum is a service. What about the school? That's a service, right? Okay, so what we're talking about today is different than what we talked about on Monday. On Monday, I know you guys talked about goods and services provided by businesses. Today, we will examine details in images, to infer or draw conclusions about goods and services provided by government. Provided by the government and paid for by taxes. So what you remember about your lesson on Monday, where do we get money to buy goods and services in businesses? Did you guys talk about that at all? Give me a thumbs up if you talked about how you pay for things when you go to the store, like when you go to the grocery store. How do you pay for the stuff there, for the goods there? kind of remember, kind of don't remember? Okay, that's all right. Well, that's why we're having this lesson, so we can talk about these things. Does anyone have an idea? Where does the money come from, Mia? Oh, that's true. That is where money comes from. Where do your parents get the money to go to the store, Sydney? From their jobs. And where do they get the money when they're working? Well, the goods and services provided by the government are already paid for by taxes. So taxes are something that we pay for so that all the goods and services by the government can be free to the public. Okay? That's what we're going to learn about. So what is an inference? Can someone tell me? Yes.
It's kind of like when you read a book, you need an inference after you're done with it because you think about what happened in the book and then you guess about what's going to happen next in the book again.
Right, so you guys just did inferencing today. I was helping some friends with this. It's when we take information and we take things that we know, like background information or just things because we're good thinkers, and we combine it, and then we can make inferences. We can make connections and draw conclusions. So let's read what this says. An inference is a conclusion made based on evidence, observation, or reasoning. And then I know that on your lesson about goods and services from businesses, you talked about analyzing things or analysis, which involves examining parts to understand a whole. Give me a thumbs up if you remember talking about analysis. Maybe so. Okay. Well, these two critical thinking skills are what we need to do today. So I hope everybody has their brains turned on. Go ahead and turn them on if they're not on yet. And sit up straight. And let's learn all about goods and services provided by the government and paid for by taxes. Are you ready? We're going to think about what goods are provided by the government, what services are provided by the government. We're going to talk about how do we know this? Is it necessary or useful? Are the public services offered to everyone? And is it for the betterment of the citizens? So goods and services provided by the government and paid for by taxes. Rights, life, liberty, and property. In the United States, the government promotes common good by protecting a person's rights to life, liberty, and property. The government works hard to maintain order and provide safety. So these are things that the government gives to United States citizens. Life is the right to live without fear of being injured or killed by others. Liberty is the right to be free, and property is the right to own things. People pay taxes. So we talked a little bit about this. One way people in the United States help the government protect rights is by paying taxes. The government uses money, tax money, to provide goods and services for the common good of the community. When something is done for the common good, it is done for the good of the community as a whole. So these are goods and services that help everybody in the United States. Government goods and services. What goods and services does the government in your community provide, and why are they provided? Goods are things that people make or grow that satisfy economic wants. You can touch a good, so we talked a little bit about that. Services are actions or jobs that people do for each other. A service is something that you cannot touch or hold. Okay, so government goods. I'm not going to read this part, guys. We're just going to look at the pictures. Government goods for transportation. What are these goods up here? Skanda, what are they?
There's like traffic lights and transportation signs.
Transportation signs, road signs, yeah. So those are goods that the government provides to keep us safe. How about, look, more about transportation. These are goods that are provided by the government. Here's some more signs. Here's a parking garage. There's a parking meter. Again, things that keep our spaces safe. Yes?
Like when you were on the one with the stop sign thing, what does Xe mean?
Crossing. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
X.
Okay, so let's talk about government services. So what do we see here? What's in this picture? What can we infer about this picture, Vanessa?
That a criminal and
Yeah.
she's in handcuffs.
Yeah, she or he. It might be a girl.
Yeah.
And where would they take this person? To jail. And jail is a government place. So that's interesting. That's a place that keeps people safe, or keeps us safe from prisoners. How about this building? What's this building? The Capitol building. And what happens there, Sneha? You can say pass if you don't know. Pass? Who would like to answer it?
In the Capitol,
Mhm.
some people talk about the laws and what new laws should be made.
Right. New laws to keep us safe and to protect us and to provide security in our country, right? Good. So those are services. Here's more safety services, road work, construction on the roads. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, for the when was the Capitol,
Uh-huh.
that reminds me of my friend. Their dad works in the government.
That's interesting. Government goods and services. Education. Okay, in this picture, let's talk about which thing in this picture you see that's a good. I'm gonna call on a friend who I know knows this. Gary.
It is a book
A book! A book is definitely good. How do you know that?
because in the library
Yeah.
you can check books and you check out one.
And it's a good because you can touch it and you can hold it, right? That's how we know it's a good, not a service. What about a service? You can show me or talk about a service, Atina. A what? A science lab? Yeah. Well, I think that that could be true because sometimes the places, we think of the place, like the school building, as a service or the room inside the school as a service. But for the sake of this lesson, I want us to think about the school rooms, like the computer lab or the science lab or the classroom, as being a good. Because we can touch the classroom, right? I'm here, I can touch the building. So the school is a good. But what's a service? Who's providing the service, Atina? Is there a picture of it in this picture?
Yeah.
Who's sitting over there in the classroom? Who's in the classroom that provides a service? Who? Miss Styler, the teacher, right. So the teacher is providing a service. And all these things that are inside the school building are the goods. Let's keep going. This is a picture of a website from FEMA. FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Federal Emergency Management Agency takes care of people, gives them food and water in a natural disaster. So when there's a big tornado or a hurricane or something that happens to people that's really awful, the government comes in and provides a service. Yeah, you see the natural disasters, and this is like a food supply. Here they're helping people, I think, gather clothing. They also set up like temporary shelters. So that's a service that the government provides, and then they give people goods. They give people water. They give people food. Safety and information. Oh, here's a website about nutrition. The government provides information and service about nutrition. Oh, recreation. Like, have you ever been to a national park? Yes? Yes? So a national park is a government place or a government service, and when you go there, you see the goods in the you see the goods. You see the pamphlets. You see the information. Yeah, there's a beach. That's a place, right?
Yeah, because it has like signs about
Right.
what happened in the past when there were like bad things, bad stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What's this one say? Governments provide many more goods and services that people want. These goods and services are paid for by taxes. They make a community a better place to live. What goods and services are available in your community? And let's close this. United States?
Walmart?
Walmart is a business. Think about goods, that's a good answer, but think about goods and services provided by the government, or do we not know yet? We might need to keep learning more. Giovanna?
Those people that sometimes come around your neighborhood and pick up the trash?
Pick up the trash, you're right. That is controlled by the government. That's a service that's taken care of by the government. Matt?
Policeman?
Policeman, absolutely. Miss Styler's husband, right? Tamion?
The mailman?
The mailman, the postal service, right? Yeah, you're right. How about you, Gary?
What about a doctor?
Some doctors are. That's a tricky one. It's kind of confusing. Some doctors have their own businesses. Hold on, let me explain my thought. Some doctors work for the government and there's special health clinics where people can go and they're free. So there's different kinds of doctors that have different types of jobs and offer different types of services. Let's keep going, and I love that everybody has these good ideas. Now we will examine one picture of one government place and decide what goods and services they will provide. So at your tables, you're going to talk to each other about your picture and fill out a graphic organizer. Before we go back and we talk about this, did you want to tell me what your idea was about a goods and service? What was it? I'm listening.
It was like the mailman, but in some different.
Oh, it was the mailman. Did anybody else have another good idea about a good or a service provided by the government? Yes, Nanda.
I was thinking of a sports therapist. It's like a doctor type thing.
That may be provided by the government, but not necessarily.
It could.
That could be a business, a private business.
It could.
It could. Mia?
Carpet cleaner.
A carpet cleaner is mainly a business. That's not something that the government thinks that everybody in the United States needs. So a carpet cleaner wouldn't be provided by the government. That would be a private business. Okay, I'm going to cap your ideas for right now. Thank you. I want everyone to quietly go back to